Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look here at Gala, seeing what's going on. We're going to double check a couple of key factors, such as this descending trend line that is being tested here as we speak. Keep in mind we had some positive neutral news here from the Fed meeting. Rates remain the same, 5.25 to 5.5%. So that's creating some surge-ish, if you will, squeezing out some shorts with Bitcoin. So keep in mind Bitcoin's kind of on a tear since that occurred. This is still very early, of course, but generally speaking, that is the market's responding well to that. Now, how is Gala going to respond to that? It really just depends on how Bitcoin behaves, truthfully. If Bitcoin can kind of stabilize and continue to make higher highs and higher lows and break this descending trend, we could see the same thing here as well from Gala. So if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. Hope you can learn something today. Do me a favor before we get started, hit the like button before we start, just so you can kind of help grow the channel and get this in front of people that actually deserve it and need it. Because unfortunately, YouTube is terrible about recommending really good content like this. At least that's what I hear from a lot of my comments below. So thank you very much for everybody who's done so, and just congrats to our community members. We got some awesome profits here recently. We always got to celebrate this because it's important. Nice shorts here. Filecoin 82% short, XRP 45% short in 12 hours rather. Fetch.ai 52% in 7 days. ICP 20% in 13 hours. Okay. So again, we got some really nice trades coming through to the downside. It might be time to shift gears to long positions now. It's hard to say. We're not going to get too presumptuous here or ahead of it, if you will. The important thing is wait for confirmation. I don't think we have that yet. Either way you look at it here, 5 cents even, heavy concentration liquidation. That's a very strong support level. Keep in mind, it's not a support level because of liquidation. It's just that a lot of people put their liquidation levels, or more so their stop losses, and or take positions based off of strong support. And 5 cents has been that level. So let's talk about that here. Quickly to note here with the price action on the charts. What are we looking at here? Well, truth is, we want to look at the daily time frame and work our way down. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But for the most part, things have been fairly bearish. Okay, so we are now officially down below the 20-day SMA. We lost our ascending trend. We look at some moving averages. We're below basically just the 20-day SMA, and that's not a bad place to be, truthfully. Just kind of lets us know that we've got to kind of maybe pay close attention to the charts and make sure that we understand that the price could continue lower. It's not a bearish sign by any stretch. It's just something we want to be mindful of. Okay, we're also testing 50 on the RSI. Money flow index right there at about 60. Not a bad place either here at this point, honestly, but it's still not great. Being above 50, I love to see that though. That is a very nice sign. We also have the MACD divergence here too. So I'd say generally we see a little bit more bearish activity here, but there's still some silver lining. Okay, and you don't take trades on silver linings, folks. I just want to reaffirm that for you. It is important not to do that. We can see, again, this is another silver lining as well. We have hit our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which does imply we should see some higher highs and higher lows moving forward. Okay, ABC pattern would make sense. But once more, still a little premature. We're not over 50 on the RSI just yet. That's a confirming factor I like to look for. Being below that is generally a bearish sign. Stochastic swinging up here, and the price action hasn't moved much. That's not a good sign either. It usually implies that this momentous push hasn't been all that momentous, and we could very well see the price pulling back. We can see here, of course, as well, MACD trying to converge. Well, I mean, it is converging, but it's not very strong. Okay, so in other words, this little push, quote-unquote pump here that we're seeing so far is very premature and not really all that sustainable because, again, volume is staying very low. Low volume doesn't really give me a lot of confidence. Taking a look here at the hourly, let's quickly double-check this here. I talked about this in previous videos, but generally speaking, most coins are exuding similar behavior. The descending trend lines that we're seeing, the price action is trying to retest those levels, but we're still not out of the woods yet. We're still stuck within the cloud. So to me personally, at this point, until we break back up above the cloud, maybe get above this 6 cent mark, I don't think we have any cause for consideration here. And again, we got to recognize too, we have this this long-term trend line. We could very well see a bearish back test and the price come back down. Okay. Until we break above some of these more recent highs, I have no reason to want to take a long. It's just kind of shooting in the dark, if you will, right? And again, you'll hit targets when you shoot in the dark. You're always going to hit some innocent bystanders, and it's usually a terrible situation. Okay, so if we take a look here, we're looking for a closure at this level or higher to give us some confirmation, not all, but some confirmation that we're back on track. Okay, that would be the hourly confirmation. The other thing we want to look for is a 4-hour RSI. Me personally, being above 50 in the RSI here is a gold standard for feeling good about taking a long position. Okay, so we got a lot of road ahead of us. Keep in mind the price action could very well still continue lower. We have very little volume in the range of 4.6 upwards of 5.4. Okay, So that's an area of contention there. I think that at this point, though, depending on how the conversation goes here today with Jerome Powell speaking and how Bitcoin closes, that'll tell us a lot about where we need to go next. So I prefer to wait for confirmation here. Pretty much my entire narrative for the day has been just do yourself a favor and wait. It's very premature at this point to try to get into a long or short position. Most shorts are overextended and longs just don't seem all that worthwhile because we have very few confirming factors. I mean, I've looked at a lot of strong coins today, and a lot of those strong coins are still range bound. They're stuck on this kind of this path sideways, which is fine. That's a good transition to establishing higher highs and higher lows, but we don't have that yet. You could argue that we are seeing higher highs and higher lows here so far, but you also need to recognize too, this is a very concerning too, because these kind of patterns have a tendency of breaking down, right? This is a bearish type of pattern. So I really do not like the way that it looks here so far. So again, I'm not going to attach myself to the fact that we have a channel like that, for example, a bearish channel. But once more, a lot of folks will do that. Just do yourself a favor, make sure that all the factors are confirming bearish before you take a trade solely on one candlestick pattern. Okay? Inverse head and shoulders, for example. People were calling for an inverse head and shoulders 2 days ago on Bitcoin. And while it was forming, everything else looked bearish. We took a bunch of shorts with some altcoins, found great success. Mainly because Bitcoin was still confirming bearish, right? So that pattern was invalidated based on the simple fact that those who tried to take a trade then didn't wait for confirmation. A lot of other communities, from what I understand, from my community members, got pretty well destroyed. They got their ass handed to them, okay? So please don't be one of those persons. Wait for confirmation. If you want a higher success rate, maybe consider joining my trading community, or also comes with trade signals. These are the signals that I sent out to my community last month. 100% accuracy. It's not always like this, folks. Trust me, you're going to take some losses. We took, one stop loss this month, and we closed another trade early. Okay, so basically two losses, if you will, but we've offset that with about, I think, 15 to 20 positive trades. So it's been a very, very good experience, and it'll continue to be if you wait for confirmation. Okay, so I hope you learned something here today. Comment below if you haven't. Wait, not if you haven't, but if you have. Obviously, if you haven't too, I'd love to hear it because it's rare, but it can happen. And also make sure you like, subscribe, and follow, and trade Gala on the best exchange possible. Bitunix, phenomenal exchange. Thank you so much for the opportunity for our members. There's no KYC or VPN required for these guys. If you use my link to register, you get some awesome rewards too. Check them out. You're going to love them. We love them too. Thank you again. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.